In this video, I want to break down what happened after the most recent live stream, because Hoyoverse quietly revealed something important. During the broadcast, we were shown a new lineup of character silhouettes that tease the next group of upcoming units. I'm going to explain what that reveal actually showed, how players reacted at first, and how the discussion shifted once leak information started circulating. Then we'll go through each reported character one by one, talk about their possible roles and patch timing, address the situation around Sandrone, and finally touch on the uncertainty surrounding Alice and what might happen later in the 6x cycle. At the end, I'll wrap everything up clearly so you know what's official, what comes from leaks, and what is still unknown. During the live stream, Hoyoverse displayed a teaser image showing several new character silhouettes without names, elements, or roles attached. This is a familiar approach. Instead of revealing details, it focuses on overall shape, posture, and presence. At this stage, the image only confirms that these characters are part of the upcoming release cycle. There were no labels, no timelines, and no explanations. Everything was left intentionally vague. Because of that, early reactions were driven entirely by visual interpretation. Players immediately started comparing outlines, hairstyles, weapons, and stances to characters already mentioned in the story or past rumors. Some people felt confident about certain silhouettes, while others strongly disagreed. At this point, the discussion was speculative, energetic, and divided. Not long after the reveal, a new wave of leak reports began circulating. These leaks attempted to assign names, rarities, and patch windows to each silhouette. It's important to be clear that none of this information comes directly from Hoyoverse. However, once these reports spread, the conversation shifted almost immediately. Instead of guessing who the silhouettes might be, players started reacting to what it would mean if these claims were accurate. Some people were excited to see certain names included. Others were skeptical about the timing or banner placements. Many players also began asking whether they should start saving resources, even though nothing has been officially confirmed. According to these reports, the silhouettes are connected to versions ranging from 6.4 through 6.7, with each patch introducing one or more major characters. The leaks also suggest which characters might be limited and which could enter the standard banner. These claims should still be treated cautiously, but they give us a rough framework for discussion. Based on the leak information, version 6.4 is said to feature Varka and Lohen. Varka is described as a limited 5-star character expected to headline a normal banner cycle. Lohen, on the other hand, is reportedly a 5-star intended for the standard banner pool rather than a limited run. If this turns out to be accurate, it would mean Varka follows the usual limited banner format, while Lohen becomes permanently available after release. At this point, there are no reliable gameplay details, so anything beyond rarity and placement remains unknown. Moving on, the leaks link a new Snezhna-related 5-star character to version 6.5. She is framed as the central figure of that update, but there are no finalized skill descriptions or mechanics available. Most discussion around her focuses on theme and narrative importance rather than gameplay. The only solid takeaway is her association with that patch window, not her confirmed role. For version 6.6, the leaks place Nicole and Lana together. Nicole is described as a 5-star character likely serving as the main release of the patch, while Lana is positioned as a 4-star accompanying her. As with the previous characters, there are no complete kit details. Players are already theorizing about possible team roles, but at this stage, only rarity and timing are being discussed, not confirmed gameplay identity. Version 6.7 is where things become more complicated. The leaks point to Sandrone as the major 5-star of that update, but they also suggest that her playable version may differ from how she has appeared previously in the story. This idea alone has caused a lot of debate. Some players are concerned about possible changes to her design or presentation, while others are waiting to see how Hoyoverse handles her transition into a playable character. Right now, the only grounded takeaway is that leaks associate Sandrone with version 6.7, while everything else remains unconfirmed. There is also the ongoing discussion around Alice. She does not appear in the silhouette lineup and is not assigned to any patch in the current leak cycle. Even so, players continue to speculate about whether she might appear later, especially around a possible 6.8 update. At the moment, there is no confirmation that she will appear at all during this cycle. Her status remains completely uncertain. When you step back and look at everything together, the situation becomes clearer. We have an official silhouette reveal with no names attached, community interpretation based on visuals, and leak reports assigning identities and patch timing. The silhouettes themselves are real. The character identities, roles, and release windows are not confirmed. Discussion around characters like Sandrone and Alice shows how invested players are, especially when strong story relevance is involved, but everything is still developing rather than finalized. That's where things stand right now. As more official announcements and future live streams happen, we'll start to see which parts of this conversation hold up and which ones don't. If you want to keep up with how these characters evolve as new information comes out, feel free to stick around. And if you enjoy breakdowns that stay grounded, clear, and focused on what's actually known versus what's still uncertain, consider subscribing so you don't miss the next update.